Hello everybody. In this video I will continue explaining some methods to gain contact or recontact your real self. It is always of primal importance to know what are your values. And I have made videos about how to know your values. Or you can also consult any book about acceptance commitment therapy, ACT, or any other maybe sometimes spiritual book, or and you should know, at the end you should know your values. Okay, now after you have known your value, you should now practice or do something which is an extension of your value. So your external behavior or your work, let us say your external behavior should be an extension of your value. This is to make no discontinuity between inner and outer, internal and external. So everything becomes smooth and the flow of or the realization will become easier and will become fluent, okay, and continuous without spike or discontinuity. Okay, so what you should do is should be an extension of your value. Try to find a job. If you cannot find a job which is according to your values, try to find a charitable or a voluntary work, okay, where you can interact with the humans and of course humans' emotions. It is very important. This will bring you back to feel feelings and will activate your emotions instead of only focusing on the feeling of the OCD. So when you are interacting with the emotion of the people, you are getting in touch with your own emotions, okay? But it is better than concentrating the whole days or long hours on your OCD feelings and OCD thoughts. And of course we have already said that the OCD self is created mainly by the OCD feelings, okay? If you have a long time of unemployment, of course I can expect that if you have a long experience of OCD, if you have a long time, you had a long time with OCD, so I should warn you that the first days, okay, maybe the first weeks in the voluntary or charitable work will be difficult because you are a foreigner to your real emotions and also of course to the emotions of the people, so you will have some difficulty, you will have a lot of thoughts, OCD thoughts or very negative thoughts against the work or the charitable or the voluntary work that you are doing. So please try to be patient and be mindful of that. Recognize that and relabel that as an OCD or obsessive thoughts, and try to mention why I am here. I am here to serve my recovery of OCD, and then refocus immediately to something constructive or something in your hand. Okay, what you were doing before the entering of the obsession. Okay, don't be afraid from painful emotions when you are interacting with the people, because these emotions will bring you back to be in contact with your real emotions and feeling, and this will reconnect you with your real self. Also, people who help other people are doing something valued, okay, called values in ACT, or acceptance commitment therapy, in their life. Okay, so they are doing something valued in their life that they can be proud of. This is also a value. It becomes easier for them to recognize their worth and to make contact with the real self. So it becomes easier when the more you recognize your worth, you recognize your I am a good human, I am worth a human that is precious. Okay, so it becomes easier for you to make contact with your real self, because your real self is really precious and worthful. Okay, so doing things that one can respect about themselves is a key. Okay, that is myself, I have found that works to raise one's worth and one's respect of himself. Give value not only to yourself but to someone else. Give value not only to yourself but to someone else as well. Go back to the videos about values and you can try to learn something about how to recognize and to know your value. The other form of making contact of your real self is to be in isolation with your real self, to be non-distracted of yourself. Okay, because the first shock is the entering of the entering of the self when you were in your when your mother was pregnant within you. There should be a soul. So this was the first conscious shock when the soul entered you. Okay, we are not chimpanzees or whales. We are humans, and humans have something very, very deep, unchangeable in them. We called it one expression of this soul is the real self. Okay, but okay, let us continue. So be in between time and time, period of fasting or silence. Between time and time, be in silence. Be alone with yourself, without distraction. The first conscious shock, you was distracted from your real self because you had pain. The soul was infinitely in infinite expansion, in no time and distance and place, and suddenly it should be confined to a fetus in the mother. And after that, the birth, the second conscious shock. So where you learned that I should protect myself. So then the personality shield began to form, or the self began to form. And okay, so it is important to be alone with yourself between time and time, to feel the self, to make contact with your real self. Okay, so you have two types to do that. Fasting is there are two types: not eating and drinking or having sex from dawn to sunset. You can practice that 1 time per month, 10 times, 30 times per 30 days per week. Okay, per year. Okay, 1 time per week. It is up to you, but I advise you to practice fasting, because you will have less distraction and the noise will become. This is a practical experience. It is not a theoretical only, a theoretical one, but this is practical. It is practiced by a lot of millions of people. Okay. Also try to do the fasting about fasting from talking. Okay, so called silence. You can do that in a tent, or you can reserve a room in a simple and a modest hotel. It should be simple and modest, not luxurious, because you should interact with your real self, and by making less luxurious things, then you should serve and you should do you should take off everything, you yourself. So instead, I want to make you disconnected from your OCD thoughts, forced to disconnect. Okay, in ERP it is so. If you don't want to leave your normal comfort zone, so this will force you. You grab your tent, and you go to some place that you don't understand the language, you don't know the language, so that you don't be distracted from yourself. Okay, so you can reserve a room in a simple, modest hotel in any city that you don't understand their language. And this is very important, that you should not understand their language. Okay, and do not speak or answer to any telephone or laptop for 3 days. Okay, so you can do that for 3 days each 3 months, or if it is difficult for you, then 3 days at least in the 6 month, or in the year, in 1 year. Okay, so don't respond to your telephone or laptop. Switch off your telephone and laptop. Of course, only if there is an emergency call from your family or your wife or your children, then that is, of course, this is okay. During these 3 days, try to make your own food, and do not go to the restaurant. Be as simple. There is no luxury. You go to the water cycle. You eat simply, very, very basic, very simple, basic. The base of Maslow pyramid. The basic needs. Only the basic needs, and you do it. It is preferable that you do it. You make your own food. You try to find a water cycle, a toilet. You wash you try to do the things for yourself. Okay, you can practice that when you feel that you are filled. This is enough. I should go to a retreat, or reserve as I have said, you reserve a room in a hotel, and you do the seclusion with yourself. Okay, if try to do that. Please. If this is difficult for you, try between time and time to travel, or doing a trip alone and silence. Try to do that. Okay, alone, and so that you can focus only on yourself. And it is not only focus. It is not really a focus with energy. When you are confined with yourself, when you are alone with yourself in a new environment, a new land with you don't know the language, then you will be aware, not only a focus. Okay, so without energy, you will be aware of yourself. Without energy, it will come automatic. Okay, maybe not in the first day or the second, sometimes in the third day, sometimes in the fourth day. Okay, absolutely it will be in the fifth day. Okay, so but try not to talk. Okay, so silence. I don't say you silence in the room. You can practice that also, but for me, according to my experience and my advice is that also you can simply know among the people. So you reserve a room in a hotel, and simply you have your rucksack, and that's the rucksack. You have your rucksack on your back. There is bread, food, water, and you go walking. And alone. You walk alone. You watch the people. You observe. You are mindful of the streets, trees, people. People are moving. People are talking, and you observe. Don't talk. Don't do anything. Don't talk. Don't observe. When you observe, there will be a contact with yourself. You are observing the people, but you will contact yourself. It is a magic. It is not. I cannot explain that. I have no explanations. No, I don't have explanation for that. So, but you should experience it. You do that, and you will feel it. It is. I know it is difficult. If you have a children, a family, or work, I know. Everybody have but Sometimes you are forced to do that so that we make contact, we are clear, we clear our brain. Okay, so, okay, please try to do that. Okay. Other advice also by the United Nations World Health Organization is that it is very important you do sport, okay, or you walk alone or with someone else, but my advice is alone, okay, at least 30 minutes per day. And of course, better to be mindful of the environment, birds, trees, okay. So it is important. Also, I want to say that forgiveness is practicing forgiveness. It is extremely important. So try to remember to say to yourself, this prayer or this remembrance, if I have hurt or harmed anyone, knowingly or unknowingly, I ask forgiveness. If anyone has hurt or harmed me, knowingly or unknowingly, I forgive them also. Okay. It is also very important to forgive yourself for the ways I have hurt myself. So you forgive yourself for things that you have done to yourself. Okay. So I forgive myself for the ways I have hurt myself, knowingly or unknowingly. I offer forgiveness. Okay. And also very important to be not so perfect and to forgive your imperfectness. Okay. If you being imperfect, then forgive yourself for that. Okay. You can also make a gratitude list where you list some 10 things per day or 3 things per day where you are thankful for these things. Also, you can make 2 lists, one for your strength and the other for your achievement. And you write there what is your strength points and achievement points. Okay, and you try to read through them each morning or between time and time to make yourself remember about these things. It is a sort or type of affirmations. Okay. Also during retreat or when I told you to reserve a hotel and a room in a hotel, try to pay special attention to your personal hygiene. Okay, take a shower, brush your hair, trim your nails, and so on. Okay, do more of the things that you like and enjoy, where you get good feelings, and try to focus and be mindful during these actions. Okay, try to be always mindful of your actions, what you are doing, where you are walking. Okay, mindful also of your feelings. Focus especially on what you can change, not on what you cannot change. Okay, please, maybe some therapists or OCD therapists now, they say he's talking about self-esteem or what. No, I'm not talking about self-esteem. So please try to not to misunderstand me. I know what is OCD and I know what is the meaning of the self and the connection between the self and the OCD self and the OCD and the obsession. And so I'm not talking about self-esteem or to boost your self-esteem or like that. No, you can do that, but I am talking what is the tools to recontact your real self. Okay, and at the end, in fact, I cannot stress this point enough, and that is the strongest thing to solidify your real self, or the fastest way to make contact with your real self, especially in the OCD context, is to stop the compulsion, to stop doing the compulsion, stop doing the compulsion. Okay, stop doing that. Because who is doing the compulsion? It is not you, it is the OCD self. And who is preventing the compulsion? It is your real you. So the more you prevent the compulsion, the more you become your real you. The more you make, okay, so sometimes, okay, the more you stop the compulsion, the more you make contact with your real you. Okay, so this is very important. Refocusing, but this is the subject of step 3, so now I will not delve into deeply. Okay, I hope that this video was beneficial for you. Please try to do the exercises and try to understand that, because the work emotion and thinking and thoughts is not the way to contact your real self after losing it. You have lost, or you have lost the contact or the strong contact with your real self. So now we should focus not on thoughts or feelings. We should focus more and more up, especially in the beginning, we focus on doing, on behavior. You do. You should do. Okay? And after that, the contact will come with your real self, and then you are allowed to feel, to think, to, okay? Take care and see you in the next video.